Hi everyone, this is Susan with the Rhinestone World. In this video, I'm going to show you some point editing tips in Silhouette Studio for this flamingo design. I'm going to cut it using my Cameo 3 and press it onto this glitter tee using the new Siser Neon Grapefruit Glitter HTV on our Max Clam 15x15 heat press. Alright, let's go. I'm here in Silhouette Studio Business Edition, and I have a couple flamingos that I'm working with, and we're going to talk about point editing. So on the left side I have a flamingo that I have already done some point editing on, and on the right side I have a flamingo that's a little more rough looking, and you can kind of see some of the differences. So over here I smoothed out some of this. So I'm going to continue working on the left one, and I'm going to show you how I did some of this. So I'm going to start with this beak, and what I did over here is I had cut out this piece, and I'm going to lay it over top, and I'm going to select both of these. So I'm holding down shift to select both pieces, and I'm going to go to the modify panel and subtract, and that's where I can get the cutout of the beak. So here's another copy of it, and if I move a little closer, I might find that I want to do some more point editing. I could either make this bigger or smaller to fit this spot, or if I needed to, I could make some changes here to the points by moving them around individually. And sometimes I can select a point and just delete it to make things smoother, and sometimes I can select it and use my left arrow button on my keyboard to move it just slightly. So one of those will work for you, and like I said, maybe I just want to make this a little smaller, but you kind of get the idea. So on the left side, this one, I'm going to take a close look here. This is an image that I had found online and traced, and I'm not selling this, but you just have to be careful about what you take online, because if you're tracing something that's trademarked or copyrighted, you don't want to get in trouble. So what you do find sometimes is that they're pretty rough, so when you get close up using your magnify, you can see that it's a little bit rough sometimes. So there's something else that I'm going to use as a little trick here in this back part of the flamingo neck, and that is, instead of going into the point editing for this, because it's pretty detailed, I'm going to use my circle tool, and I'm going to make a rectangle, an oval shape, and I'm going to put it in there because I just think that might be a little faster than trying to work with the points. So I'm going to make this a little bigger and a little wider, I should say. And I'm going to move this right into this spot, and I'm going to subtract so that it cuts out a smooth line. And I'm going to tilt this slightly so that it matches the angle, and make it a little more narrow. Now if I select both of these and go to the modify panel again and subtract, now you can see where it makes a nice smooth line there instead of dealing with the point editing. but I do have a spot over here that it's created. So I could select one of these points. I can move it slightly with the arrow button on my keyboard and fix that. Sometimes you can also select a point and use smooth. That might work. Now I've left some little notches here. That looks a little better. And another area that I'm gonna work on is right down here. This is a little pointy, and when I double click on this, I can see all those points. I'm just going to select this one point and use smooth. You can see how that kind of rounds that out. And I also left a pointy edge here on this bottom toe. So I'm going to double click so I can see my points and select this point, and again hit the smooth, and you can see how that is a little more rounded. And same thing with this one. If I select that point, sometimes it takes a second for that smooth option to pop in there, and I can hit smooth. I could also move this slightly with my arrow just to move it just where I want it. And I'm going to smooth that one a little. Okay, so that looks better. Maybe this one's a little pointy. Alright, so that looks good. And this one is, I think, ready to cut. So I'm going to move this old shape out of the way. So I'll select the whole design, and this is going to go on a shirt, so I want to make it a little bigger. I want to make this about 7 inches high, and I'm going to put it up in the corner. And I am going to flip it because I'm going to cut this on HTV, and I want him to be facing the other way. So I'm going to go to the send panel and select my material. I'm using glitter HTV, and my settings look good. I'm going to actually go in and cut by color because I'm going to cut the beak out of black. So I'm going to unselect the black so that I just cut the new Siser color, the Neon Grapefruit Glitter HTV. And I'm going to send it to my Cameo. Okay, my flamingo has finished cutting, and I'm just going to go find a scrap piece of black Siser Easy Weed HTV to cut out the beak, and I'm going to warm up the heat press. So I have my design here to weed. I just need to get out this little tiny flamingo beak, and this is black Siser HTV. This is Easy Weed. And if I hadn't cut such a tiny piece around it, it would be easier to weed. And this is the Neon Grapefruit Siser Glitter HTV. I'm just gonna pull up a corner. I'm gonna go careful around these legs because they're pretty small and intricate. And I just have one piece left here in the legs. And she's all ready. I'm here at the heat press. I have my Max Clam 15 by 15 heat press warmed up, and the temperature is about 315. The recommended setting is about 320. I put a little piece of heat tape here just to mark my spot because I lined this up and I'd like to do a pre-press first. So I'm going to just come down for a quick couple seconds. Just to get any moisture out of it. And I'm gonna place my flamingo back on here. That'll just give me a guide of where I wanted him or her. I'm not sure. All right, and I'm going to press this just for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna put the beak on, and I'll press it again. I'm gonna move this first back so I don't get the imprint of the collar. Okay, that looks good, and I'm just going to put on my beak, which was just Siser Black Easy Weed HTV. And I want to make sure I get this in the right spot. I like a little bit of a gap there, so it's not going to go right up against the neon grapefruit. It's just going to have a little separation. And I'm going to use my little piece of heat tape just to hold it on there. I can use my cover sheet. I'm going to finish with a press of just about another 10 seconds. And there's our design. If you like this video, please click like below and be sure to subscribe here to the Rhinestone World so you don't miss anything. And please call us or email us if you have any questions. Our phone number is 941-755-1696, or you can email us at info@therhinestoneworld.com. Thanks for watching. And the great thing about this video is that this shirt is going to be given away to one lucky viewer. So be sure to like or comment below for a chance to win this shirt.